Hello everybody and welcome to a test that I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but if I did, hi. Alright, so this is my brand new capture card. So up to this point, obviously I've only been playing PC games. I haven't been playing for very long, but if you may be privy to the information that all I've been playing is PC games because I couldn't really record console games. But I finally bought a capture card that worked with older systems, and so now I am doing it. Here we go. Extreme G is easily one of my top 5 N64 games. I played the hell out of this as a kid, and like I can pick this up at any time. Like there's no, it's not one of those games where you played it as a kid and it just doesn't stack up anymore. No, this is still a really solid racing game. I found an interesting thing out. Some of you may be familiar with the name. The guy who did the coding for this game, as far as I know, is the only one, is Sean Hargreaves, who was I believe he was a Microsoft programmer for a while, or he was a software developer for Microsoft. I know he dealt a lot with like XNA and stuff, and he wrote a lot of the tutorials I looked at when doing graphics and stuff, like the graphics for my games, like the engines, when I was dealing with 3D rendering and stuff, just finding out ways to optimize my code and shit like that. Really smart guy, obviously extremely talented. And I just saw that, I saw it in the credits in the beginning of this game. Or no, maybe it was at the end of one of the series, but it was anyways, when he was running the credits, I saw that he did the programming, and I was like, oh my god, it's Sean! I thought that was awesome. Like, it was so unexpected. I had no idea. I think the reason I loved this game so much as a kid was because so much of it is a mystery. Like, are there people in these vehicles? Like the symbols, you don't know what all the weapons do, and you have to like figure it out, and the tracks are amazing, and it's like the tracks are outlandish and downright alien in some of the later ones, some of the later like higher difficulty levels that you have to unlock. And there was just always that air of mystery about this game to me as a kid that I just fell in love with, and I love the soundtrack of this game too. And I don't care if this video gets flagged by YouTube Content ID, I am not turning down the music in this game. You guys need to hear this. I'm probably going to turn it down so you can hear me talking, but hopefully it'll still be audible. Well, also, you might notice I'm doing really, really well. First off, I even surprised myself when I picked this game up just an hour ago to start testing this, at how it was like, you know the phrase, you know, like riding a bike. It was exactly like that. I picked it up, and it was just like instantly I was back, you know, as a kid playing this game. I didn't need to think about any of the buttons. They all just immediately came back to me. And it's like I was playing, and I'm just owning people, and I was like, how am I doing so well? I haven't played this game in like 6 years at least. And at that point, it had been like another 6 years. But yeah, like oh man, just so much about this game, like visually, like all sensory stuff. The controls are a little difficult, honestly, because like how ridiculous the tracks are, the turns, you're going so fast and the turns can be kind of sharp sometimes. Like you have to use really have to apply the right bumper, I guess. I don't know if that's what they called it when it was back in the N64 days, but the R button causes your car to tilt more, or your bike to tilt more, which gives you sharper turning, but it's kind of hard to control. So in general, this game, you run into the walls a lot, but it's just part of the game. Like, the AI does it. It's not like, when you do it, it's not like you suck. It's, if you watch the AI do it, they fall off cliffs, they run into walls and stuff, even on the hardest settings. But anyways, and then the second reason I'm whooping people right now is because I just picked easy. And it's, well, easy. This controller feels like it's kind of worn, but it's still pretty responsive. The joystick's just got a lot of play in it. Like, there's a bit of a dead zone in the center where it doesn't do much. Yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna play this. Unfortunately, I don't have a memory card on me. I think I've got one somewhere in my closet, but I don't have any. I don't have any save files, so I can't show you some of the more ridiculous levels without playing to them. Which, I mean, I guess I can do that. We'll see how long I feel like playing. Oh yeah! I also love, like, you see these other I keep calling them cars. You see these other, racers, and they have, like, interesting names, and, like, you try to guess their origins and stuff like that. Like, I remember when I first started playing this, and I saw the character Gray, I always used to think that he was, like, a ghost or something mysterious. It's just crazy shit like that. But yeah, I like this whole world, like everything about it is mysterious and intriguing. And then like the second game, Extreme G2, they just straight up were like, yeah, it's humans, this is a racetrack, everything's constructed, blah 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 blah. It just like tore it down completely for me and ruined it. So I don't play any of the later games. They might still be good games, but like the whole, I don't know, they ruined the flavor to just find out they were humans. Like, you could say, oh, well, you could probably guess it because they show, human, like, helmets in the menu. But that always, to me, felt like it was just iconography. Like, they were just using it because you recognize it, Not necessarily that it meant that humans are driving these things. Very hard to make it through the loop for me, at least, without running into the walls. God damn it. I want to do this already. So nostalgic playing this game. I think, like, as far as games that hold up, for me personally at least, this one and the N64 game, the new Tetris, at least on the N64 platform, are the two that, to me, like, have aged amazingly well. Like, I can pick up the new Tetris and play that for hours. It's, in my personal opinion, one of the best Tetris games of all time. Some of these levels, you can get up to, like, if you time your boost just right with, like, boosts that exist in the level naturally, you can get up to some ridiculous fucking speeds. To the point where you can't even control it and you're just bouncing off the walls. I always had trouble going through corners smoothly. Like, half the challenge of this game is just trying not to run into the walls. That's my own damn mine. I put that there. Gray, of course. He's the only guy catching up to me. Too bad. Hope you can't see anything incriminating in my apartment. Ow. I mean, thanks for the boost, but ow. I just fucking love this game. I love it so much. And seriously, if you're willing to play older games, like you don't have a problem with like dated graphics or whipping out your N64, I would highly recommend playing this game if you haven't before. Yeah, like see, this is a natural boost, and you can also use your boost here, and then you just like fucking fly off of this thing. It's nearly uncontrollable, but it's still fun as hell. I forget what this one does. Great lab, yeah. Blind hitter. I wonder if I should put up an epilepsy warning. With all these patterns and shit going by as fast as they are, it might as well be blinking lights. Sure how much space I have on this camera now that I think of it. I also have no way of timing this episode. So there's that. Yeah, another great lap. I wonder if that means I'm beating my own personal best times, or what. I guess I got 2 boosts. There aren't too many good places in this level to use boosts. It's so curvy and hilly, like, if I just use a boost right now, I'm basically guaranteed to run into a bunch of shit. Go. Ah! It's up to 400. Shit. I don't need homing missiles. Get off the wall. Yeah. I am the winner. I remember back in the day, Grimace. Like, all of these bikes have names, and Grimace used to be my favorite, but I just played him like half an hour ago, and I was astounded with how sluggish he was in the turns. Like, his turning is terrible. Ooh, I gotta cheat. Roller. I feel like I should know all of those. That totally sounds familiar. Let's do the next one. Critical mass. Play an intermediate this time. I'll pick it up on bike. Yeah. I don't know, his top speed's a little weak. Yeah, see, Grimace used to be my favorite, but you can see his turns are really low, and I found that to be problematic today. In the harder difficulties, you need high acceleration, because if you don't have that, you're gonna get ruined. See, this guy is basically the same as Khan, except that instead of shields, he has weapons. If we go back to Khan, we'll see it's basically exactly the same, except we have high shields and low weapons. Let's go with Khan. I remember using him a lot. Let's just escape the crowd real quick. Oh shit. Turning was apparently not quite as good as Raise, which is the bike I was driving before. Pretty close though. Definitely doesn't have the same top speed. Yeah, they're staying with me pretty well in intermediate. I'd be getting shot if this was expert, or whatever they call expert. Oh no! That whirlwind knocks out your steering, by the way, if you didn't notice. That's why I didn't intentionally run into the walls. Oh, I missed the boost. Ow. Stop it. No, I don't need that. I think I really like the idea that they're bikes and not cars. Because like pretty much every racing game in the history of the world does cars. You know, it's only as time went on that they started experimenting more and started including things like motorcycles and airplanes and stuff. Probably another reason why I like Diddy Kong Racing. Because it had airplanes and shit like that, which I don't know that anybody had done airplane racing up to that point. I could be wrong, but I didn't know that. Get off me, you bastard. Yeah, leave you in my dust. Oh, okay, that was too far. I was forgetting to use my boosts. Also, I just realized this is basically the same tracks. Why is this the same tracks? I mean, I thought about that in the last race, but now it's really obvious that it's the same. Oh, okay, I get it. They're like almost the same track, but damn it. Funny part is, I really should remember these passwords. Well, this is a depressing note to end on, but I think I'm going to cut it here. Yeah, so if you like what you saw, you should totally pick this game up, because it's awesome. Like I said, for me, definitely somewhere in the top 5 N64 games. Might be my favorite. Might. It's pretty close. I think I've oftentimes told people it's my favorite. Not lying necessarily, but just throwing something alternative out there, because everybody knows the big ones like Ocarina of Time and, you know, fucking, everybody knows those. So I try to use this sometimes as my favorite game, just to like introduce other people to it. So anyways, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Hopefully, if I show this game again with more tracks, because you should see some of the ridiculous tracks. But anyways.